Hey everybody, thank you for joining me for your daily collective reading. This reading will be for the next 24 to 48 hours. Spirit guides and divine messengers, what message do we have for the collective for the next 24 to 48 hours? Hold on a second. Okay. 24 to 48 hours, please. Important message for the collective for the next 24 to 48 hours. What does the universe want you guys to know today to help you on your journey, helping your careers, your relationships, their perspectives, archangels and divine messengers? We need a message for today, next 24 to 48 hours, please. Seems like more than one card wants to come out. Battle of the Blues. Take steps towards positive change. Okay, we have a sword here that's submerged in the water. So some of you guys are learning how to manage your emotions from a more logical, rational, objective standpoint. Competition, some courage and self-confidence. There could be some self-doubt or insecurity that's causing depression. It's like you know what you have to do. You know where you want to go, but you may not have the courage to get there, or you may not want to make the sacrifices necessary to reach your goals. And you may have to sacrifice comfort or familiarity or predictability. So you're fighting with yourself. This could be like someone who has a defeatist attitude or mindset. Someone who allows their subjective feelings or their subjective reality to affect their objective reality. So this is someone who has a lot going for them, but because of their insecurities, they can't see it. And they either miss opportunities or sabotage opportunities, or they're afraid of stepping into their power. Summon courage and self-confidence. A tiger is here. Battle of the Blues. We have pearls, a sword in the water. This is very Piscean energy. Pisces and Leo could be here. You could have a Pisces and a Leo sun, moon, or rising sign. Summon courage and self-confidence. Whitney Houston had a Pisces rising and a Leo sun. At some point, her Pisces rising took over and she stopped believing in herself, or she started to become insecure about who she was because of the turmoil in her relationships and the demands and expectations of the music industry. So this is you fighting yourself or slaying your own demons with this sword. And these demons are psychological or emotional. They're causing self-doubt. And this self-doubt is like having it's having a dulling or subduing effect on your confidence. Feeling subdued, dull, uninspired, unmotivated, not confident, minimized, feeling small, irrelevant, unimportant. You may feel like you're not good enough to do what you have been asked to do by source or the universe. So you know you have to go on this epic journey. You're destined for fame or fortune or success or popularity, but you're afraid of it. So you're submerging it. You're hiding it. You're hiding your light. I think you're trying to resolve that issue because situations around you they're not changing, or they're feeling less productive. This is like swamp water almost. There's no life. You're bored with, it's like you're at the end of a cycle, but you're not letting it go. A long cycle has ended. Pluto just entered Aquarius. After 16 years of being in Capricorn, you're still in that energy, or you're still in that mindset. You could have gone through a lot of traumatic changes or drastic changes, lots of losses and unexpected changes, upheavals, tower moments, death moments, the World card, Wheel of Fortune, the Fool card. You've had to walk away from a lot. And I think you've become despondent as a result of that, all those sacrifices. But all those losses were to make way for this new life and this new beginning. So the old life you had built for yourself was in the way of this new path you're supposed to be on, or this new journey. And I think you're afraid of it because you're going to have to use your sword. You're going to have to fight for what you want. It's going to require a lot of energy, confidence, clarity, wisdom, a sense of purpose and focus. This is you stepping into your power. For the first time, you could have become passive, or you were raised to be passive. You could have an afflicted Mars or debilitated Mars. Mars in Libra, Mars in Cancer, Mars aspecting Saturn in a square, conjunction, or opposition, Mars square Neptune. You could have this issue in your natal chart where it's like you're afraid of expressing your confidence, you're afraid of expressing your masculine energy. So it comes out as like self-destructive behavior, sabotaging yourself, hurting yourself in some way, getting involved with abusive partners who exhibit the qualities and characteristics that you're suppressing within yourself. Now you're depressed, you've been beaten up or beaten down. You feel lost, but there's something inside of you, like a fire roaring within you, but you're afraid of like stepping into this role as a leader, as an executive, as some sort of guru or a teacher, someone who's out front. This is a lot of yellow here. We have a tiger. Tigers are solitary animals. They're big cats. They're like lions. They run in packs. A tiger can do things on their own. You guys are alone. You may not have a relationship. You may not have a lot of friends. You spend a lot of time alone. You have to do this by yourself. That's why you're kind of afraid, because you don't have a roadmap or a support system, but you have everything you need already. The sword is here. You were equipped with this sword before you were born. So you have everything you need to accomplish this goal or to reach your destination. You just need to step into position. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for your future. You have support. This fairy's on top of this tiger. You have a lot of cosmic support, but you don't. It's like you're still holding on to the Pluto and Capricorn energy. There still could be some resentment about losing the things you valued, material things you valued, a relationship potentially, money, job, house, car, social status. Is something here that you resent losing and you're holding on to it. But I think at this point you're realizing that you have to move on, and you're feeling a bit uncomfortable because this fire is roaring within you. You know you have to move. You're getting ready to move. They're getting ready to fight. You're getting ready to fight, collective, for your future. There's this, it's not going to be the same for everybody, but some of you guys are meant to be like leaders of some sort, game changers. We'll find out what's going on here with these other cards. Spirit guide, I need some more insights, please, for the next 24 to 48 hours. Please continue this story. Continue this message for the collective. This way. Please continue this message for the collective. Tell me to shuffle this way and it's split. Archangels, divine messengers, thank you. The Knight of Wands is reverse. You're getting prepared to move. This person, there could have been like you could have started something and then stopped. You're about to start again. Three of Cups. The Three of Cups represents, in the traditional deck, like a union, a reunion with two other people. There's three people coming together for a joyous occasion. It's Cancer energy. Threes represent Jupiter, good luck, good fortune. This is like healing your emotional wounds so that you have the confidence and the courage to move forward. Learning to enjoy life again. I think joy is going to be a big part of this. Having joy. Having fun with this competition. Don't see competition as like something to be afraid of. Make it fun. I mentioned Whitney Houston earlier. Whitney Houston wasn't afraid of competition. She enjoyed singing with really talented women like Kelly Price and Faith Evans and Mariah Carey to an extent. She wasn't afraid of their talent because she knew what she had to offer and she knew what made her different. But this Knight of Wands in reverse, it's like some of you guys are looking for permission. You see this Knight is looking towards me or towards the camera or towards you guys. They're looking for permission. Should we go? The horse is looking for permission too. Like, where are we going? You know what to do. But it's like you have to, you're looking for support. But you're the tiger. You have to do this alone. You must do this alone. And it's not a punishment. But you have to go on a hero's journey by yourself. Because of this Three of Cups situation, you may use other people as a crutch. And it's like, if you rely too, like you could have a codependent personality. And again, an afflicted Mars does not like to take initiative. They would rather wait for permission to take action, and they miss opportunities as a result. They don't like taking risks. They're not comfortable doing that. So you're looking for permission to do this, and you're going to have to give it to yourself. I think you'll get so uncomfortable in this space of the blues, this depression, feeling listless, helpless, worthless, powerless, shiftless, friendless. You're alone, period. You're looking for someone to save you, and that's not going to happen. You're going to have to save yourself. But it's not like you don't have any support. You have cosmic support. You have divine support. But the people who would help you will only hold you back from this mission. This is really sacred. It's a really sacred journey you must do by yourself, because you don't want anybody else's motivations and their motivations and their plans to sort of like intercept what you have for yourself. Like, you're the kind of person that takes the back seat. You're a good team player. This, again, it could be a Mars in Libra, Mars in Cancer, Saturn in Aries, Saturn in the first house, Saturn conjunct the Sun. There's like someone who's a great team player, could have a stellium in Libra, or a lot of planets in the 7th house, but they're afraid of doing things on their own, not because they're not competent. It's like, you guys know that once you really get on your A game, there's no turning back to your old life, to who you once were. And your new life is going to require a lot of energy, a lot of responsibility. You don't want to feel responsible for other people. You're afraid of that because in a past life you may have abused your power, but you have gone through enough in this lifetime to learn not to do that. So there's nothing to be afraid of, because you've already learned those lessons by losing so much over the past 16 years, potentially. Going through the trauma you've been through, you've become humbled with this Knight of Wands. Now, instead of you, like, your natural disposition is to ask for permission. In the past life, you could have been a very strong-headed, arrogant, impatient, foolhardy, reckless, irresponsible. You've learned not to do that, but there's an overcorrection. There's an overcorrection here. Now you're too timid. You're too passive. You're too inhibited. This is like Neptune square the Sun or the Mars, potentially. Clarify the Knight of Wands reversed and the Three of Cups, please. But you got to have fun with it and enjoy yourself. Celebrate this. This is a celebration. But you're afraid. You're very afraid. Clarify the Knight of Wands and the Three of Cups, please, for the collective for the next 24 to 48 hours. I need more. Shoot. Clarify the Knight of Wands, please, and the Three of Cups. Some of you guys are forgetting things you already know. It's like you've forgotten who you are. You've forgotten with the sword underneath the water. It's almost like the river of forgetfulness. Pisces energy. It's like you went through a death cycle where you lost so much, you forgot who you were, because so much of who you were was attached to the things that you lost. But that was an ego death. So because you went through an ego death, you've forgotten who you truly were or are. You've lost so much. Four of Pentacles. Yeah, this is a poverty mindset. This is reversed. And the Ace of Swords, upright. That's in alignment with this Ace of Swords here beneath the water. It's upright now. So here, I actually like this a lot. Upright, you're holding the handle. Reverse, you're holding the blade. This is more painful, more destructive. There's no growth around here. Here, there's opportunities. There's like, you're empowered. You're not the victim of circumstances. You're taking control. So when someone strikes you with a sword and you don't have one, you have two options: to move to the side or try to, stop the blade from cutting you with your hands. You're going to get cut. You're not getting cut here. You're the one in charge. You're the one empowered. But with this Four of Pentacles here, I Again, you've become too timid, too afraid of your own power. And that's causing a scarcity mindset, a poverty mindset. Here, this person's generous. They're generous. They have a lot to offer. Even though they don't have much, they have faith they can always get more. Like you see this bird in the background. There's this old saying that a bird never, what is this Bible verse about animals and beasts of the wild never having to worry about their next meal. They don't worry about what to eat. They just not wait for the universe to provide, but they do what they can with what they have to find their next meal. But they don't worry about anything. They're just in the moment. You're not living in the moment with the Knight of Wands in reversed and this sword underneath the water. You're not living in the moment. You're so afraid of taking action. You're afraid of making a mistake. You're afraid of being judged. You're afraid of that you're doing the wrong thing. You're not on the wrong path. If you've lost a lot over the past several years, then the universe was making room for you to do what you know you're supposed to be doing. With this sword, you know. It's just that you forgot. It's like your relationship to who you were, or your relationship to this sense of purpose has changed, it's shifted. So when you were younger, you could have been in complete and total alignment with your sense of purpose, right? Whether it was a career path or, I don't know, something you wanted to do. But you've gone through so much trauma and losses because throughout your life, you acquired a lot of things that had material value or physical value, but they were egotistical. They were a part of your ego. So, for example, this is like someone saying, I want to help people, right? And this is you becoming a nurse, working for a corrupt hospital system that doesn't take care of its patients. Then you lose your job because of the pandemic or whatever, right? COVID vaccines. Then you lose your house. Then you lose your car, your spouse. But you still have your certifications. So instead of you becoming a nurse at these corrupt hospitals, you could, become a doula. Or you could get into holistic healing, right? Herbal medicines and more so like comprehensive preventative healthcare versus treating the illness and not the symptoms. Waiting for things to get out of hand before you go to the, like you could be more interested in preventative medicine or someone who's interested in herbal, holistic, horticultural medicine, alternative medicines, or healthcare as an example. And you know you have to do that, but you keep asking for permission. You're so timid, or you're afraid of making a mistake because it's a responsibility. It is a lot of responsibility. But in order to feel more confident in yourself, you must learn. You have to read some books, do some research, go to school, take some classes. Ace of Swords. Once you become more informed or educated, your confidence will increase. What's going on? Okay, it's kind of blurred out. We have the Moon card in reverse. Yeah. And the Temperance card in reverse. This is Ten of Swords. Right, okay. 7. You don't know why you lost everything. 5 of Swords here too. You don't know why all this happened to you. You still think that God doesn't like you or God is punishing you in some way. That's not what's happening. God had greater plans for you. And he knew that, or this deity, source spirit knew that if you stayed at this job or in this relationship or in that particular house or in that community, If you stayed attached to that situation, you would become complacent and you would not do what you're supposed to do. You would be here your whole life, just going through the motions because you're afraid of living up to your potential. We have Temperance in reverse, and then we have the Moon card in reverse. The Moon card represents like listening to our intuition, being guided by our intuition, our subconscious even. But here, the Moon also represents like what makes us feel comfortable emotionally, our emotional needs, our sense of security. Your sense of security was destroyed because you went through so much loss, 10 of Swords, 7 of Cups, that you're haunted by the loss. You're afraid of the next calamity or tragedy. And because you're so afraid, it's like it's affecting your whole frequency. You're not confident in yourself. You're depressed. You're anxious. You're angry, low-key angry. You're frustrated. There's a lot of emotional turmoil here with this Temperance in reverse. Here she's pouring the water into her own hands, washing her hands of something. There could be some guilt here or self-doubt. She doesn't have any wings. She has wings, which means that there's wisdom here. There's a sense of purity. You feel guilty about something. Actually, she does have wings. They're hidden though, which is interesting. You can't see your own wings. You guys may have made mistakes during this cycle. You could have made mistakes. Or you could have made miscalculations, misjudgments. There's a sense of failure or being a fraud or not being who you. It's like you can't help other people because you're not perfect. How could God give me this gift or bestow me with this responsibility and I'm a bad person? I've made mistakes. I've hurt people in the past. I'm not good enough. So I could even see her wings at first, but they're here. It's just like kind of blurred out, but you can't even see your own divinity. You're trying to wash your hands of something. It's almost like you're punishing yourself by not stepping into your purpose. This is like self-flagellation, self-destructive behavior. It's almost a form of masochism too. There's an afflicted Mars here somewhere. Something's going on with Mars or Saturn. And even Neptune to an extent. The Sun could be afflicted too because that's our ego identity and our creative expression. But the Moon being here, whatever you used or whatever your source of security was threatened, or it's like the situations, circumstances, and experiences that were once a source of comfort for you is now tormenting you. It's now holding you back. It's like trying to go back to an old paradigm. Trying to restore what was destroyed by time. The opposite sign of Cancer, which is the Moon, is Capricorn. You see these structures are destroyed. And you have this hellhound here. You're being haunted by the past. And the haunting isn't just about the mistakes you've made, but you wanting to do things differently, or you wanting a different life, or you not being able to go back home. Your home has been destroyed, maybe literally or figuratively. There's no family, there's no friends, you're by yourself. Like your roots have been burned and destroyed with the Moon card here in reverse. Because more than likely, your roots were toxic in the first place. You could have come up in a situation with a lot of generational trauma, sexual abuse, mental illness, coming from a slave lineage in America, massive poverty, drug addictions. But it was familiar for you. It was familiar to you. It was a source of comfort because it was familiar. Even though it was toxic, you knew how to navigate this terrain. Now with this all being destroyed, you feel lost. Ten of Swords. But it's actually upright, which is good. This is you getting out of your own prison by realizing that the past is gone. It never really existed. This is an illusion. So the life you thought you had never existed. Seven of Cups, being haunted by these demons. There's a dragon here, a snake here, a decrepit hand here. Can I get this? Can I get this? Hold on. Okay. Dragon, snake, decrepit hand, and you can't sleep. You could be suffering from insomnia with this moon card here. Sleepless nights, tormenting, and you're trying to break out of that block of ice. You're seeing things from a different perspective, and there's no one here to rescue you. You have to do this on your own. These are your experiences. This is your trauma. These are your attachments. But it's like you are emotionally attached to a reality that didn't exist. The moon is illusions. This is based on like our subjective experiences. I mentioned this earlier. Did I mention this earlier? I don't know. I don't remember what I'm saying. This is Scorpio energy, Seven of Cups. And Scorpio deals with like our deepest, darkest fears, our traumas, right? Betrayal, generational trauma, secrets. Like, I'm not good enough because I made mistakes. But guess what? The memory of those mistakes, of those experiences, has been destroyed. There's a new paradigm. It's like what happened to you is not even real in the grand scheme of things. I'm not saying that reality isn't real. I'm saying that memories are just that. They're the past. But some of you guys are making the past your present. But now you're here. You're destitute. There's nothing here. There's only darkness and confusion and being haunted. Upright, you can see grass. You can see like the tower is still up and standing. There's some guidance here. There's some positivity. There's a path forward. These stones going forward. The dog represents, or the wolf represents, loyalty to an extent. It's protection also, the wolf, but this is not a wolf. This is like a pit bull or a Rottweiler. This is a hellhound. This is not the same thing. This is a guardian of hell. But this is a self-imposed hell. This is like the bardo. This is a bardo. Some of you guys could be a Cancer, someone, a rising sign, or water sign here. But you're breaking free from that. You're learning that, not even learning. It's like you're being thawed out. This transit of Pluto into Aquarius is thawing you out, or is forcing you to want more for yourself. You're thawing yourself out. Here, this person's completely frozen and they're stuck. This is Ten of Swords. Here, and the swords are like dull. You can't get out of it. They're useless. Here, you're getting out of your own way. You're seeing that the past was just an illusion. And even though those experiences were real, the experience was real, but there's like the emotions that are left behind are now like shadows or ghosts. The trauma that happened to you, that you experienced, it was real trauma, but what's left behind after that experience is demonic energy. It's a ghost. It's not real. It's like a shadow. It's like a carbon copy. It's like it's left an imprint, but that imprint isn't the reality. It's like it's a scar. The wound has healed, but the scar reminds you that something happened. But the wound has healed over. You're not bleeding anymore from it. But you're still acting like the wound is still open. But it's healed. So why are you still focusing on what happened in the past? That is not... It's like you have to go through those experiences to align with your life purpose. You have to lose your money, resources, family, relationships, homes, maybe even your self-respect. You've had to be brought down to nothing to humble you, in a sense, and prepare you for this journey. Now you can connect with people who are what you would call, quote, the dregs of society, right? People who need the most help. People who have these demons attached to them that have made them really sick. Now you can connect with them and resonate with them because you have empathy for them. You have compassion for them. You know what they've been through. But unlike you, or unlike them, you have the strength to pull yourself out of this. You didn't get caught up in like addictions and other evil behavior. You're trying to transmute that negative energy in your past into helping other people to heal. A lot of people go to trauma, they end up hurting other people the way that they've been hurt. They become like, inverted in a sense. Right? They lean into their shadow side. You didn't do that. You don't want to do that. But because you don't want to do that, you've kind of been left here because you haven't really fully healed yet. And you know that if you get out there without fully healing, this sword is going to become a weapon for like destruction and not for healing, for good. Like there's a difference between, a surgeon and a butcher. They both have the same tools, similar tools, but one person uses their tools to kill and to cut you up in pieces, and the other person uses their tools to heal and to resolve issues and to cut out problems. So you don't want to be the butcher. You want to be the healer. I think you had to heal from all this trauma, tragedy, shame. You made mistakes. And now you're judging yourself for those mistakes. God isn't judging you the same way. It was a part of your journey. You had to go through this. It was inevitable. The moon card is like an inevitability here. It was inevitable. This is the only major arcana. Sorry, the temperance is here too. I'm sorry. Temperance is here too, but it's reversed. You are like practicing self-care. You're wiping your hands clean of like blood, mistakes you've made. And then you're going to turn into this. Once you've cleaned yourself up by going on this journey, this will go upright, and then you're going to pour this out, this Aquarian, the water bearer. Even though it's temperance, this is still the symbol for Aquarius. You're going to help other people to heal by dealing with your own mess. That's a part of the courage that you need too. Like, you don't need permission to start healing yourself. You don't need money. You don't need other people's support. You don't need a lot of stuff. You have everything you need to start healing right now. And along the way, you'll get other resources. You'll get more support from the universe. But you got to start this by yourself. This is a solitary journey for you guys. All right, Spirit guides, I need more information for the collective, please, as it pertains to this story for the next 24 to 48 hours. What else do they need to know? What else can we tell them to help them on their journey? Thank you so much for your guidance thus far. Archangels and divine messengers, please continue this story. What else can we share with the collective as it pertains to this story? Okay, we have 3 cards. I can deal with 3. I can't deal with 5. Wide open, full card kind of energy, movement. This is the Knight of Wands type of energy, Chariot energy, and commitment. I would say commitment to yourself, to your North Star, your North Node. We will see what these cards mean. I have not seen these two hardly at all, or any of you actually. Number 42. You are free to express your uniqueness to the world, competition, summon courage and self-confidence, and share in all the bounty of life's endless possibilities. Not the 4 of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles. All manner of opportunities are presented to you at this time. The wide open card is a signal that you're able to truly manifest your dreams and that your goals are in sight. Don't remain small. I mentioned you feeling small earlier. Don't remain small and contracted. Instead, expand your horizons beyond what you believe to be your limitations. You have a unique voice that needs to be expressed in the world. The universe is supportive of new ideas and approaches at this time, so speak up and speak out. This card is a sign of the maverick, Knight of Wands, who freely roams in the wide open space of possibility. Allow for greater vision to replace the old ideas, the Moon card, as you dream a grander dream. This old dream is done. This is like it's like an illusion, a mirage. It's a bardo that you've been stuck in because of this emotional turmoil. Number 28, movement. You are in a time of positive forward motion. I mentioned you're coming out of this space. You've been here for a while. This is a time for positive momentum as you come out of a period of restriction. And this is self-imposed restriction, the 10 of Swords. You turned it upright. You're in a stage of new adventure, Knight of Wands, and recovery. You don't have to ask for permission to do this. You may feel compelled to take a trip, change your hair, or move your home or business. Regardless, you cannot remain where you are anymore. You cannot remain where you are anymore. The Moon card, this is done. The past is over with. That's it. You've learned all you need to learn from this experience. So there's no, no karma coming after you. Like all this is done. This cycle's over. And the longer you stay here, the stronger this hellhound is going to get. This is you tormenting yourself. My throat is starting to burn. You guys may need to heal your throat chakra. You could have an afflicted moon or Venus too. No matter what your inquiry, you will see your dreams take form and doors previously shut begin to open as if by magic, because this is your destiny. All the mistakes you made, what you thought, they weren't mistakes. Like, okay. There is no morality in other dimensions. There's just energy and frequency. So our sense of morality comes from the idea that we don't want people to do to us what we've done to them. Or we have to treat people the way we want to be treated. That's morality. So if you don't want to be, abused or beaten up, don't do that to anybody else, right? That's out. But on the other side, like in the other dimensions, there's no concern for that. It's just, these are all learning experiences. So your guilt has no place. It's just your own demon. You've created your own demon, in a sense. Movement is also a state of mind. 10 of Swords, and this sword is in the water, and the Ace of Swords. I didn't even address these two. We go from the Ace to the 10. I think in this instance, what's happened is that you're becoming aware that you're the source. You're basically betraying yourself, and you're the source of your own torment. There's no one else here but you. So you go from, oh, I need to change up my whole situation. I'm responsible for my life. Let me get out of this instead of staying stuck. Now, if this were reversed here, you would still be here in a block of ice because you would be afraid of the pain of healing yourself, right? Because this sword is being grabbed by the person's hand, but you're holding the handle. So you have a handle on the situation. You're the one in charge. If you notice, all the swords are pointing downwards, just like in this deck, with this card, right? So now you're actually on a healing. You've already started the healing journey. You've gone through this already. You've been tormented for too long, and you're coming out of that space now. Movement is also a state of mind. The fog lifts. Moon card. Neptune energy. Pisces energy. Battle of the Blues. And you know now the actions you need to take. I mentioned it earlier. You know what you have to do, but you don't want to do it. This is not the time for fear. You're afraid of yourself, of your own potential, and you're afraid of being triggered again. I feel like whatever you're afraid of is just a figment of your imagination. Yes, you may have been bullied in the past, but I think the universe is going to make this easy for you. The hardest part is actually stepping up to the plate and starting a journey because you're so afraid of it. Let it go and move forward. Let this go. Shame, fear, insecurity, anxiety, worry, hopelessness, anger, and move forward. I mentioned the Chariot card here. I think I mentioned the Chariot with the move forward card. Okay. And now we have commitment. Number 36. A true commitment is a responsibility of the heart, mind, body, and soul. And I mentioned you guys were afraid of being responsible for other people. This is a good time to make one. Partnerships formed at this time are harmonious and powerful. The commitment card also indicates the natural evolution of a relationship from its inception to a literal or metaphorical marriage. You are marrying your mission. You're marrying your purpose. Because you're by yourself. Even if you're with somebody, you're still alone. They can't do this for you. If you guys watched Love, Marriage, Huntsville, Martel destroyed his whole marriage, his whole life, because he never got out of this space. So even though he had a partner with him who was really intelligent, Melody was intelligent, smart, ambitious, cooperative, supportive, it didn't matter because he didn't deal with his own individual mess. And so he sabotaged everything. So even if you're with somebody, you have to do this by yourself. You have to work on yourself first. Okay? However, you must be conscious of what you're committing to. Be clear about the nature of your commitment and your responsibility to it. Others are more willing to enter into partnerships at this time. Remember that your partnership with spirit, it didn't say a person, with spirit and the highest version of your own self will engage the highest self in another. So you have to be the best version of yourself before you can attract that quality out of other people, from other people. So I just mentioned Martel. I didn't even read the rest of this. Martel from Love, Marriage, Huntsville, he attracted someone who had all these good qualities that he admired, but he did not exemplify them within himself, or he did not possess them within himself, or he didn't cultivate them within himself. He didn't feel like he was what he said he was. He wanted to be who Melody believed herself to be. She had faith in herself. She wasn't afraid of competition. She was confident. He didn't have those qualities. And so he did not have a good relationship with a good partnership with spirit. He was looking to her as a codependent person. He was looking to her to elevate him. And once she started to deny him, he started to, lash out against her. But I mentioned codependency and you doing this by yourself. The reason why you're by yourself is because you have a tendency to rely on other people to give you comfort or security or permission to live your life. You're a good team player, but you're not good on your own. Like, you have to learn how to be confident on your own. By yourself, doing your own thing. Taking charge of your own life. Stop asking for permission. Let me do 2 more and then I'm going to close this out. Let me get the chakra cards. Okay. Spirit guides, I need some more insight for the collective, please. It's going on for almost an hour. Interesting. Okay. Spirit guides, some more insight for the collective, please. For the next 24 to 48 hours. I need some more information. Insecurity. Yeah. Faith. Right. You got to have faith in yourself. That's the 12th house. But Saturn in the 1st house, or Saturn in the 5th house, or Saturn in Leo, or Saturn in conjunct the Sun, or whatever. Saturn square Mars, Mars square Neptune. You have to have faith in your mission and your purpose. And that will give you faith in yourself. Wisdom. Learning from your experiences. You've gone through enough. Like, you have, it's almost like, burning something to the ash. At some point, the fire burns itself out. There's nothing left to burn. Your old life is done. Nobody's coming back to get you. Nobody's coming back to... Nobody cares about that. You're in a whole different paradigm, a whole different world now. You're on a different journey. You've learned all that you need to know to move forward. You don't have to keep focusing on the past. Spirit guides, I need some more information for the collective, please. Endless cycles. 2323. Charisma, communication, society, movement. We have the movement chart here. Journey, repetitive circumstances and patterns. The moon card and this Pluto and Capricorn cycle that lasted 16 years. You've been in this space for a long time. There is some truth you're resistant to accept over and over again. This is the hellhounds, the bardo, being stuck in the past. The moon deals with the past, our emotional conditioning, right? Our childhood experiences, what makes us feel secure, what makes us feel safe. This trauma, this story, this narrative is familiar to you, and it makes you feel safe, but it's getting darker and more insidious. This dog is getting closer to you. You're like, you could... Okay, let me just stop because I don't want to go too far with this. But until you're tired and restrained beyond depression, there is some truth you're resistant to accept over and over again until you're tired and restrained beyond depression. It's almost like a mental breakdown. This is despondence. You're not even here. You've forgotten your past. You've forgotten who you were. I think this is like rock bottom. And now you're forced to come into your power because there's nothing left here except this damn demon, this hellhound. It takes a decision to live life for yourself. Stop asking for permission to be who you're supposed to be. Nobody else does. Everybody else does what the hell they want to do, but you're looking for permission from other people, friends, family, lovers, whatever. I'm smelling some cherry perfume, cherry, apple, sweet smelling perfume. Somebody's wearing that. It takes a decision to live life for yourself. Life is all about passion, courage, having the courage to, you have to embrace the spirit of competition. Steel sharpens steel. If you lose, it doesn't make you like a loser. It just means that you have to do better next time. That's all. But the fun, it's like the joy comes from the fun. The fun comes from the learning. The experience is like the joy, but the joy comes from the experience. Have fun with the experience. You know, when I'm channeling, sometimes I can't even put sentences together correctly because I'm getting information and it's coming in jumbled. I have to concentrate better. So yeah, life is all about passion. Then you can make a change, and the world around you follows. The world around you follows. This is an illusion. I'm going to get another one, please. One more card, please, for the collective for the next 24 to 48 hours. Thank you so much, Spirit. Thank you. We're almost done. 7777. Perseverance. Change of perspectives or perspective. We go from the Ace of Swords to the Ten of Swords, or the Ten of Swords to the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords cutting through the Moon card. Seeing things for what they are, not what they appear to be based on your subjective reality, which is trauma, informed by trauma or trauma induced. Change of perspective, reflection, inner strength, wisdom, enlightenment. And wisdom came out earlier. It was at the back of this. Enlightenment, Ace of Swords. There's a need for a change of perspective, Ten of Swords, Ace of Swords, on whatever has taken over you. You have been taken over by this, I don't want to say demonic entity, but this shadow, this fear, these negative emotions, this cycle, regret, anger. If you want to succeed, you need to keep going. Stop asking for directions because you know where to go. You know what time it is. You need to keep going down the road you're on. Reach for the wisdom within. Because it's like everything you've lost has forced you to go through this dark night of the soul. And you're reconnecting with your soul again. You're reconnecting with your source of who you really are. All the other stuff, your degrees, your job, relationships, car, house, they were just stuff that's blocking you from true fulfillment and happiness. And then you'll know And then you'll just know what the right next step is. What the hell? Let me read it again. If you want to succeed, you need to keep going down the road you're on. Reach for the wisdom within, meaning you're the source of your own. You're your own directions. You're your own lighthouse. And then you'll just know what the right next step is. So you have to go within and listen to your intuition, not your fears. This is your fears. You're afraid of your intuition. You're afraid of your instincts. You don't trust yourself anymore. You know what to do. You've always known that. But your trauma has kind of shocked you into a sense of like indolence and fear and depression. And it's lowered your frequency. Now you're kind of stuck. Spirit guides, I need some more information for the collective for the next 24 to 48 hours. Thank you very much. The Moon card. I already addressed the Moon enough. The Moon deals with our mother, our family, childhood conditioning, our earliest environments, imprints, impressions, emotional needs, reactions, responses, subjective reality, emotions, feelings, things that we cannot necessarily quantify in a tangible sense. It's like emotional feeling, emotional experiences, sensations. The bardo, hell. Hell is the moon, if you guys don't know. I think it's the moon. maybe even Saturn. Spirit guides, more information please for the collective for the next 24 to 48 hours. Sagittarius, Knight of Wands. So Sagittarius needs a lot of freedom. This is like optimism, having confidence in yourself. And this is wisdom too. Having the wisdom to not take things so personally. A fire moon burns down the past. They don't allow their emotions to dictate. They don't allow their emotions to affect their confidence, or they don't allow past experiences to affect their confidence or their perspective. It's like this person, Moon and Sagittarius, have a really jovial, happy disposition. They always see the bright side of things. Unlike Moon and Capricorn. These are really funny, jovial, sweet, optimistic people. Have a sense of optimism about your life. You've lost that, Moon and Sagittarius. Learn from your experiences and don't take it personal. Everything that you've gone through, you've experienced, was for a greater reason. I mentioned wisdom earlier. Wisdom's also here to persevere. Just because you experience losses doesn't mean that you were cursed or, you're not meant to keep going forward. The things that you've lost or that you're losing was holding you back from your destiny. Thank you for confirmation. One more, please, for the collective for the next 24 to 48 hours. The 6th house. What you do on a daily basis, your lifestyle, work habits, health routines. You got to change your life. There's something you're doing every single day with the moon in the 6th house. Cyclical, repetitive, endless cycles, moon in the 6th house. Eating the same things every day, waking up the same. It's like Groundhog Day, the movie. Waking up and repeating the same story every day, repeating the same. Waking up, going to work, come back at 5:30, eating the same thing, watching the same shows. It's like Groundhog Day. And now you're stuck. You're depressed because there's no fire. There's no passion. When fire signs can express their creativity or their ingenuity, or they can be impulsive or free, they get depressed. You're depressed right now because you're doing something on a daily basis that's like suppressing that spark, that courage, that confidence, that competition. The 6th house is not the house of competition. The 7th house is. The 6th house is the house of humility and service. And, having a smaller life, not wanting the limelight, being humble. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you've done that already. It's over. It is now time for you to step into your 7th house, potentially, and be open to competition. Don't be afraid of being judged or ridiculed. Don't be afraid of losing either, or loss. Loss is a good thing. Embrace, you know what? You need to change your attitude about loss and disappointment. Don't see it as something bad. See it as an opportunity. See loss as an opportunity. That's how Sagittarius think. Sagittarius don't say, most of them, I'm not saying that this is for all Sagittarius, but the Sagittarius position is, if I lose one thing, it's just making room for something else. There's an abundance mindset here, not the 4 of Pentacles. So you guys may feel like emotionally deprived, emotionally depleted. There's a lack of optimism and faith in yourself. There's only so much. You have an attitude of there's only so much. There could be Saturn afflictions, definitely. There's only so much, you got to have balance. No, you got to take risks here. And, okay, I'm going to be very careful. I'm not saying do something dangerous. I'm saying do something that you've never done before. Do something that you've never done before. And it could be small. Like, for example, you could have wanted to start a blog. Write your first blog entry. You could have wanted to lose some weight and start an exercise regimen. Instead of going to the gym, walk 2 miles to the gym, walk 2 miles to the park, right? Do something different that you haven't done to like free up your energy. Your energy is stagnant, it's stuck. We have 2 mutable signs here. You need to have more movement here. Physical movement, energetic movement, mental movement. You are frozen in ice. Frozen and stuck to the past, to history, to the way things used to be, or the way things you want, the way you wanted things to be, or the way things were, or whatever. That's done. Like, you have permission to be free. Look at loss as a blessing and not a curse, no matter what it is. And you'll be much happier altogether. Look at every loss, every disappointment as an opportunity for something better. Because it usually is, if you have the right perspective. So imagine if you would have married the first person that you dated or you were in a relationship with. And when you first broke up, you were devastated. Oh my God, I can never find anybody better, whatever, right? 3 months later or 3 years later, you find somebody more attractive, more successful. You're like, wow, I would have never had this experience if I stayed with my ex, right? So things can and will get better if you want them to. If you don't want them to, you're going to stay here with the hellhounds. If you don't want them to, you're going to stay, where's the other card? Here. Dark night of the soul. Tormented. It's up to you. The choice is yours, really. We all have a choice. And Sag is about, again, opportunities that come from the choices that we make. So whatever opportunities you have or don't have, they're based on the choices you've made. Make different choices, manifest different opportunities. Be optimistic about it. Don't see it as, oh my God, I've lost it, I'm dead. You know, I don't have any friends or family, nobody cares about me. No. Now that the slate is wiped clean, no boyfriend, no girlfriend, whatever, money, whatever you've lost, there's now room for something bigger and better. If you want it to be. And if you have the wisdom to choose the right person or the right situation. And I think you do. You've learned a lot. You've lost a lot in your life. Okay? It's not the end of the world if you take an L. It's not personal. It's okay to not take yourself too seriously sometimes. Have some fun. 3 of Cups. Have fun with it. Have fun. Okay? All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. If you want to order a personal reading, the link is in the description box. Look forward to your feedback. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon.